Good morning from Islamabad International Airport. I am headed to Karachi. I'm going there after 3 years almost, and I'm super excited because Karachi जाके मैंने पागल हो जाना है when it comes to food. वैसे मैं हर जगह पागल हो जाती हूँ when it comes to food, and I'm super excited because I've heard बहुत सारी नई जगहें खुल गई हैं. There's lots of new restaurants to try out, so I can't wait. Also, I shall not be going to any places जहाँ पे के फ़ोन स्नैच होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा हैं. वैसे तो पूरे कराची में ही हैं, but I shall definitely be avoiding those places जहाँ पे कि ज़्यादा high chances हैं. So we'll most likely be going to high-end restaurants because उसके अंदर बैठ के मैं कर सकूँगी vlog easily. बाकी हर जगह मुझे बहुत stress होगा. So please bear with me. That's not my flight. Okay, so I just got to Karachi about 12 hours ago, and मेरी हालत देख के शायद लग रहा हो कि something's gone wrong. And जहाज़ मेरा take off होने से कोई 10 मिनट पहले, exactly 10 minutes before take off, something happened to my phone, and out of nowhere, abruptly, it just stopped working. उसकी screen, it started flickering. This is my phone right now. उसकी screen white हो गई, it went blank, it started flickering, and I couldn't do anything because literally 10 minutes later we took off. और मैंने वो 2 घंटे इतने stress में गुजारे हैं कि जब मैं land की हूँ, and till the time I got to where I'm staying, I did not vlog anything, I didn't film anything, कुछ भी नहीं किया. So luckily एक जुगाड़ निकाला जिससे कि data backup किया उस phone का. But yeah, long story short, it's my first day in Karachi, first night in Karachi. I do not feel like going out because I'm tired from all the data recovery और वो सारी चीज़ें होती हैं. फ़ोन का इतना बड़ा नुकसान हो गया है. I can't believe मैं एयरपोर्ट पे बैठ के गई थी. ओह मुझे स्ट्रेस होगा कोई मेरा फ़ोन ना छीन ले. फ़ोन एक और तरीके से छीन लिया गया. So anyway, I'm not going out, not in the mood for it. I've decided to order something. I've decided to order something from Food Panda. A couple of friends and also Food Panda itself is recommending some pizza, क्या नाम है? Famous O's pizza. So I'm going to try that out, and tomorrow, inshallah, hopefully, I'll be in a better mood and I'll go out and eat. So for my order, I got the shroom trip pizza. It was recommended by a friend, and I got the 10-inch version because I didn't want to get the 12-inch one. I was very surprised to see that even though I didn't order any extra toppings, my bill came to around 2,209 rupees without a drink. I mean, okay, I get that this is not a fast food pizza chain, but still. Anyway, my first experience was that it was really nice and crispy. In fact, let me just play the sound here. And it looked really nice as well. And guys, this was really good. I really liked it at first bite. I think it was solid. The crust was great. The cheese was great. The mushrooms on it were really fresh. I hate tinned mushrooms. I think I've talked about this before. When I'm spending this much, please don't give me processed canned mushrooms that come out of a tin. Give me fresh stuff. So if you're charging extra because you're giving fresh mushrooms, okay, I can live with that. I can get on board with that. And then I went and tried some of the chili flakes that came along with it, and I personally love spicy food, so I like the spicy version of this pizza as well. I would give this pizza a solid 9 out of 10. Great job, Famous O's. Hello from the next day. Now that I had gotten over the fact that my phone had been damaged, I was ready to step out, and my brother took me out for hot pot. This is one of his favorite spots for hot pot in Karachi. It's called Golden Dragon, and I have done an in-depth review, a separate video for Golden Dragon hot pot. In this video, I'm just going to be summarizing all the spots that I visited, and I want to highlight the spots that I made a separate video about. Some of them were really good and some of them were just okay, but there were some spots that were just so average that I didn't even bother to record. So I'll include those in this video, but I haven't done a separate video for those. I've been coming to Karachi all these years. I think the first time I visited Karachi was 12 years ago, and I can't believe I have never been to Test Kitchen. I was lucky that I didn't have to wait too long. I actually managed to get a seat. I have done a full in-depth review of Test Kitchen by Okra. In this video, I'm just summarizing all the spots that I visited. The next day, I went to a restaurant that I come visit every single time I am in Karachi. And if you know me well, you will know that I am talking about Koti Roti. And it's really funny because every single time I come to Karachi, I visit Koti Roti and I order the exact same pasta every single time. So you can tell I'm a fan. And I thought this time I should do a full in-depth review, a full in-depth video dedicated to Koti Roti, and that shall be coming up on my channel soon. Okay, so I've had enough Italian. I wanted to try something else, and I had to meet a friend from Karachi, and she took me to Yuan Tung, which is a very old Chinese restaurant, a desi Chinese restaurant in Karachi, which has been around forever, and she really wanted me to try it, and she really wanted to treat me to it as well. So thank you, Kizra. If you are watching this, I have done a full in-depth video on Yuan Tung as well. Anyway, I got done in the afternoon and I wasn't super hungry at night, but I did want to go and have some dessert later, and another friend of mine recommended this place called Yum by Amna, and unfortunately, even though I'd heard so much about this place, the desserts were really bad. And when I say bad, they were so bad I didn't even film properly. I have not even bothered to do a video on this because the cheesecake was super stale. The biscuity base at the bottom, it was all wet and soggy and smelled really old, and the French toast was also super average, and this artichoke and spinach dip, I think, was also really average. Nothing memorable, nothing too much to talk about. I was not a fan. Sorry, Cafe Yum by Amna, I know you have a lot of fans in Karachi, but this wasn't for me. Because I'd had such a bad experience at Yum by Amna, the universe decided to send some nice food my way, and my brother's landlord, she is a really nice lady, and she sent some home cooked food over for me. This was palau biryani, and she also sent a dessert along with it, and this was so sweet of her. Full Karachi hospitality at its max. Thank you, auntie. I know you might not be watching this vlog, but shout out to my brother's landlord for looking after me and sending me some really nice home cooked food. And because I'd had palau biryani, I wanted to try biryani the next day, and a friend of mine, a Maiman Karachi friend of mine, ended up taking me to Jinnah Biryani. I've had Jinnah Biryani before, and I know you're probably thinking there's lots of so many other biryanis in Karachi which are better, but this was closest to where I was. Full in-depth video review shall be coming up on Jinnah Biryani later on this channel sometime, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so after Jinnah Biryani, I went to visit another friend who had arranged a very nice dinner for me at Crying Tiger, this really nice Thai restaurant in Karachi. And I loved the interior, I loved the place. I've done a full in-depth review of Crying Tiger restaurant on my channel as well. The full video of it will be coming soon, inshallah. So please make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out any of the reviews that I have talked about in this video. And after dinner, my friend took me to this place called Bingsu at Nishat, and it's this really interesting ice cream place which serves ice cream with chocolate shavings on top. I've forgotten what it was called, but it was really different and it was really yummy. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a separate video on this because I didn't order enough items to try it out, and normally when I do a review, I like to try more than one item. And because I was stuffed after a full day of biryani and Crying Tiger, I could only manage one dessert. And I'm not sure if I have had something like this in Islamabad before. Please, Islamabadis, let me know if we can get something similar in Islamabad. and by now I have actually lost count of what day I am on. I went to this place called Oyster Bay, which is this seafood restaurant, and I loved the interior of this place, and I ordered their seafood platter. There were three of us, and I would not recommend going here alone because this is a lot of food for one person to eat. Full review coming up soon, inshallah. The next day, I had to meet another friend of mine. I have a lot of friends in Karachi, and they're all always interested in going out. So we went to Evergreen PK. It is, I think, owned by the same guy who owns Xander's Karachi, if I'm not wrong. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record a full video on it, even though I really loved the place and I loved my food and I loved everything about this place, because this was a very quick hangout and I wasn't able to take my sweet time recording like I normally do. And because I felt like I hadn't tried much desi food this trip, my friend took me to Mirchili, which is this chain of mini restaurants, dhabas slash a slightly more upscale dhaba that serves a variety of chaats, and I personally thought it was okay. I wasn't blown away, but it wasn't bad. Nothing memorable, hence there shall be no separate in-depth video dedicated to Mirchili. And my trip was drawing to a close. I had to go and try Burns Road because my Karachi friends were giving me threats that if you don't go there, this whole trip will be wasted. So I ended up going to Burns Road, and a full in-depth video review of my experience at Burns Road will be coming up shortly. Okay, by this point I was quite sick of eating from outside, and I headed over to my friend's office, who very kindly asked me to join him for lunch there. And all his colleagues and co-workers were having this communal lunch where everybody had brought different food items from their homes, and we had homemade aloo keema and homemade pasta and homemade omelette. It was all really nice and a much needed break from eating out. And then finally, it was my last night in Karachi. So my friend suggested this Lebanese place, which is relatively new. I'm sure it's not new for Karachiites, but for an Islamabadi who doesn't visit that often, it was relatively new in Karachi. And I did a full in-depth review of this place. You'll have to stay tuned for that video as well. Please make sure you are subscribed because you don't want to miss out all the reviews that I have done in Karachi. That shall be posted on my channel very soon, inshallah. And with that, my trip to Karachi comes to an end. Honestly, I have no idea how I managed to eat so much in one trip, but Alhamdulillah, I didn't fall sick. Thank God for the opportunity to be able to have all these amazing food experiences in Karachi. And then it was time to head back home to Islamabad. That's all for this video. In case you miss any of these Karachi videos, I shall be making a separate playlist for it, and I'll see you in my next video, which is going to be a review of Golden Dragon Hot Pot in Karachi.